Andrew Cashner making his way from the bullpen to the dugout. He's going to try and stop the skid for the Padres. Game 3 with the Phillies coming up from Petco Park. Welcome to Military Sunday, presented by USAA. Always a special day at Petco Park, and this afternoon it's the final game of a 3-game weekend series between the Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres. Welcome inside the broadcast booth with Mark Grant. I'm Jesse Agler. So glad you're with us here this afternoon. Andrew Cashner will be out on the mound, Mark, and the good thing for the Padres is his numbers against Philadelphia in his career, very good.
Very, very good. 22nd start for the right-hander from Texas against these Philadelphia Phillies. Very good numbers. Why? Because keeping the ball down and the strikeout is a big key as well. But when you look at the 2-0 record, the 1.25 ERA, these Phillies last year only had a 139 career batting average against right-hander. This is what you're seeing what he had last year going for him. Despite the fastball and that slider down and in for Andrew Cashner. Now this is a team, 4th fewest Ks in the National League, and they also have the fewest walks. So what does that mean, Jesse? These guys like to swing the bat. If Andrew Cashner can avoid the sweet spot today, get in their kitchen off the end of the bat, he should have a good afternoon, have his infielders work for him. All
right, Justin Upton has been working it at the plate the last couple of nights. Good series so far against Philadelphia, and certainly from a Padre perspective, you're hoping that he's getting hot again.
I go back to the at-bat in New York during the rainstorm and went it the opposite way. Now you look at the series against the Phillies, 3 for 7, that's a 4.29 clip, and I think a lot of it has to do with him enabling himself to pull the baseball when needed, a hanging breaking ball middle in. We know he could do that, he could put out the yard. But that New York game going the opposite way, the first hit you saw there was the opposite way. If he uses the big part of the field and gets some soft stuff today from Jerome Williams, he could do some damage and improve that batting average.
And yes, by the way, that is that Jerome Williams, the same Jerome Williams we saw all those years ago with the Giants and the Nationals and the Angels. Everybody else, he is still in the league with these Philadelphia Phillies. He'll be making the start. Credit to the Phils, by the way. They're playing good baseball right now, 15-5 since the All-Star break. This isn't really an aberration the last couple days.
No, it's not. And Pete McCann, the interim manager, and Larry Bowe, I think, have a lot to do with that, because with the clientele, with the personnel they have on the team, why not take some chances? We've seen them do a lot of little things in the game of baseball. Getting the runner over, stealing. They've got some speed. Good youngsters on this team that are having an opportunity at the big league level to play and have some success.
Yeah, we have definitely seen them do some impressive things this weekend, and now USAA is proud to present the Padres Take the Field 9 Wounded Warriors of Wounded Warrior Battalion West and Naval Medical Center San Diego joining the Padres out on the field here at Petco Park.
And with Andrew Cashner out on the hill today for his 22nd start, scouting report for Andrew is brought to you by the Tilted Kilt. Hey, fastball location is so key. We know he's got movement with that 2-seamer, so if he locates that, should be a good afternoon for the right-hander, and execute the slider. Sometimes the slider gets a little big for Andrew. If it's nice and tight, he stays on top of it. It's a very effective pitch, especially to left-handed hitters down and in.
Talking about those hitters, the Phillies lineup is brought to you by Hyundai. A little bit of a different look for Philadelphia than the last couple of days. Chase Utley had made the start in the first 2 games of this series at second base and in the leadoff spot. You see the second baseman still leading it off, but it's young Cesar Hernandez in his place. Odubel Herrera making a name for himself, as is Maikel Franco. Ryan Howard, the former Padre, Jeff Francoeur in the starting lineup for the first time this weekend. Ashy Galvez Ruiz and the pitcher, Jerome Williams. Padres defense behind starter Andrew Cashner is brought to you by San Diego County Ford dealers. Will Venable making his first appearance in a Padre uniform as a father. Congratulations to he and the Venable family. Upton and Kemp to his right and his left. Solarte, Amarista on the left side of the infield. Jed Jerko, Yonder Alonso at second and first. And Derek Norris getting another start behind the plate. He is certainly earning his money here in 2015. Mark, your keys to the game are brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, I was thinking this over, and I wanted to keep it simple. And simple is this. Quick top of the first for Andrew Cashner. Hey, bottom of the first, multiple runs, have some fun in that dugout and get an early lead, and repeat history for Cashner. We talked about him just a minute ago. 2-0, 1.25 ERA. That's in 21 2/3 innings for Andrew Cashner. Keep it going for Andrew Cashner against these Phillies.
Through a 2-hit shutout against Philadelphia last September here at Petco Park. And that was a little bit of a different story because the Phils have been so good here since the team moved from Qualcomm to Petco. Beautiful afternoon for some Sunday baseball in the summer. Mark Grant, Allie Stern, and our entire Fox Sports San Diego crew. I'm Jesse Agler, and we're underway as the second baseman Cesar Hernandez swings at the first pitch and loops it into left. Justin Upton running out of real estate and just out of his reach. A pop-up strike on the first pitch of the game. Phillies won last night 4-2. They are now 15-5 since the All-Star break. In the first game of the series, the Phils won in 12 innings. They hit 4 solo homers. Last night, they did it a little bit differently, as Cashner gets the fastball called strike from home plate umpire Ryan Blackney. He's behind the dish with the crew chief Dana DeMuth at first, Estabrook at second, and Paul Nart, the third base umpire. Cash ahead of him, 0-2. Tries to go up the ladder. A ball and 2 strikes to the switch hitting Cesar Hernandez. Just mentioned in passing the Phillies' success here at Petco Park. It's borderline unbelievable the amount of games that they've won here since this building opened in 2004. The Phillies are 29-10 at Petco.
They love Southern California.
They like the weather. Trying for their 6th sweep in this building.
You know, that tells you something, because generally speaking, since the time this place has been open, the Padres have had pretty darn good pitching the majority of the years, don't you think?
Absolutely. Now, you go back to 2004 to now, the Phillies have had some really good teams. You know, they won a World Series with Charlie Manuel, and certainly Larry Bowa, Jeff Francoeur have seen different teams come through here a number of times. Chase Utley, a Southern California guy. But, yeah, they're good teams, as Hernandez drops that one over Jerko in front of Kemp, and a leadoff single against Andrew Cashner here in the top of the first.
Well, Andrew quickly got ahead 0-2 against Hernandez. Let's see a big key this afternoon if Andrew can get to 2 strikes and then put him away. That was a 2-2 pitch that he lofted over the second baseman head, Jerko, and first base runner into the stretch for Andrew.
Last night, Philadelphia got a couple of runs on a couple of hits against Tyson Ross in the first inning. James Shields on Friday night held them off the board in the first, but we've seen a little bit of a theme develop last week and a half or so. There was the Brewers, the Phillies, but teams having some success in the opening frame against the Padres. Not that that necessarily means too much. On the last road trip, opposition scored 7 times in the first inning. Padres won 4 of those 7 games. A little bit of a bunt look there from Odubel Herrera, but he takes a ball. 1-0. Big night last night for Herrera. Extended his hitting streak to 11 games, 2 for 4, a couple RBIs, a couple of stolen bases, a run scored in one of several young, impressive Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with the runner on already, wouldn't be surprised if the Phillies put something on.
Hernandez at first, and they check on him.
He was kind of leaning a little bit. He twitched a little bit.
17 steals, leads the Philadelphia ball club. Switch hitter and a left-handed batter for Cashner right out of the chute, and another close play at first base.
Wow. Perfectly placed baseball over to first base, and a nice swipe tag very quickly by Yonder Alonso. As we take a look, how close was it? Oh, you know what? That's close. I say that's a possible challenge.
Pat Murphy is up on the top step of the Padre dugout, holding things up as he awaits word on whether or not the Padres want to challenge this one. And he's going to step back into the dugout, but very close. 1-0 to Herrera, and he lines it into right field. Hernandez is thinking about third. Now he slams on the brakes, and he's got to scurry back to the bag as Amarista cuts off the throw back to the infield. But back-to-back singles to right for Hernandez and Herrera, and they continue to wreak havoc here this weekend.
Well, let's check out the location of the swing. It looked like it was up and in a little bit, and he wanted it down, but Andrew Cashner hoping for a ground ball here, and Matt Kemp showing off his gun. That's an important thing. They're hitting the cutoff man there, trying to get behind the runner. That could have been a big out for San Diego. Hernandez nearly overran the bag.
And it's now a 12-game hitting streak for the 23-year-old Odubel Herrera. He's on first, Cesar Hernandez on second, and Maikel Franco, young third baseman, is up for the Phils. And he takes ball one. Franco's had a really good few weeks, but he's been held in check here this weekend. 0 for 8 in the series. And the Phillies have taken their lumps this year, obviously playing better now, but you can start to see some of the young talent that they want to build around, and Franco's certainly part of that as he skies it to center. Venable makes the catch, and Hernandez will have to head back to second base, one away.
Hey, important pitch to an important hitter. Franco, you were mentioning it. Talking to Larry Bowa, the bench coach for Pete McCann of the Phillies, they say that this kid Franco is the real deal. That's a big out for Andrew Kastner.
Here's Ryan Howard. 2 on, 1 out.
Well, you throw Ryan Howard a really good changeup. He has difficulty with that. We know Andrew Kastner throws a changeup. He's got a good one. We'll see how he goes after Ryan Howard here.
Pickoff play at second base. Amarista trying to sneak in behind Hernandez. Two on, 1 out for the Phils here in the first against Andrew Kastner. Trying to get out of a little bit of a jam here early on. Howard lays off the high fastball. Cash making his 22nd start of the year. Howard goes the other way, but that's a foul ball out of play. 1-1. You got an election coming up next November, right? You got all the political jargon is starting to find its way into the mainstream. You would say Ryan Howard is a candidate. He is a double play candidate. He's
no
one of
question
those guys.
about it. He's done it 8 times this year. Down and away, try to hook that ball to the right side with the shift on.
In the air again, left side, and again it looks like it's going to find the seats. Solarte can't get there. Sunday souvenir.
Well, some of the pitches from Andrew this at bat this inning have been up in the zone, hence the 2 singles. Ryan Howard up and away on that last one, it looked like. And he's got him in the hole 1 and 2. Yeah, pitch number 3 up and away. The first 3 pitches up and away.
Hernandez and Herrera take their leads as Howard fouls another one back.
Trying to throw that 2-seamer into Howard, have him straighten up a little bit.
Frenchie.
That's a good addition to this team for the Phillies, I think.
He's contributed on the field, and you know what he's going to bring to the clubhouse. 2-2 to Howard.
Good guy to have on the ball club when you have young players. We've heard that story before, but no, this guy truly is good in the clubhouse and on the field. Gives it all each and every play.
Two to Ryan Howard. And that one's hit on a line out to right. Kemp going over, reaches, can't get it, and it's up against the wall. Herrera's right on Hernandez's tail. They will send one and hold another. Throw to the plate, not in time. And it's an RBI double for Ryan Howard as the Phillies get a first inning run here against Andrew Kastner. Hernandez obviously had to wait up at second base to see if Kemp was going to make that catch. Herrera had the aggressive base running behind him, but Philly only able to get one in.
Well, the majority of the pitches this inning, watch the location on this one. That one leaks right down the inner third of the plate, maybe down the middle. And, you know, the runners kind of had to hold up because if Matt Kemp makes this catch, everybody's got to go back halfway. They see the ball slicing or hooking, rather. Phillies taking advantage of some pitches that are up in the zone early.
Francoeur takes strike one from Kastner. Francoeur's still just 31 years old.
Seems like he should be 41 for as long as he's been around, right?
Made his big league debut in 2005 with the Braves. Cashner hits him with another fastball. 0-2. Just 21 when he made his major league debut. 10 games with the Padres last year. Spent most of this season AAA El Paso. Probably could have won an election there as mayor of the town. Cashner gets him to strike out though. Tips the fastball into Derek Norris's mitt. 2 away.
Great run on the 2-seam fastball in. Wow. That's an uno dos adios.
Yes, it is.
Got the 2 strikes, quickly put him away.
Cody Ashe, 251 average. 2 for 8 in the series, homered on Friday night. And has struck out 4 times in the first 2 games. And he hits this one to left. Upton is going back and measures it up just in front of the warning track for the 3rd out of the inning. Phillies get 1 on the Howard double. We go to the bottom of the 1st. Yonder Alonso, Jed Jerko, Derek Norris, Will Venable, and Andrew Cashner.
And the scouting report for right-hander veteran Jerome Williams. He's a strike thrower. He's not overpowering, and he struggles on the road. You talk about the numbers for Jerome Williams. Winless in 2015, an ERA over 8. That's right, 8.02 this year on the road.
9 road starts, 8 ERA, 0-6 record. Certainly hope that the Padres can get to him here this afternoon. Williams 3-8 overall this season with a 6.09 ERA. This is his 4th start back from the disabled list. He had a strained left hamstring, and he delivers a strike to Alexi Amarista. 0-1. Alexi led off in that Friday night extra inning game. Went 1 for 6 with a stolen base and a run. Been seeing some consistent playing time up at the top of the batting order the last week or so. Had led off and started each of the last 5 games before last night. Goes after that one and lines it into the seats.
It looked like a cut fastball from Jerome Williams. Lefties, they'll try to bury it in there. And when you don't throw hard, you don't have that cheese anymore. Better make sure you hit your spots and create a little bit of a wrinkle, and throwing the cutter will do just that.
Foul ball at the plate, still 1-2. Williams back to work, and Alexi reaches for it, fouls it back. Battling with the veteran right-hander.
we're going to have to keep an eye on the Padre hitters today, because if they hunt after that first pitch, because for the past 60 days, hitters are hitting .467 off the starters on the very first pitch of the at-bat.
Goes the other way, but lines it right to the shortstop, Galvis. And that's the first out. Here in the bottom of the first inning, Philly defense brought to you by Renovation Realty. You just saw Freddie Galvis at shortstop, Franco at third, Hernandez at second, Ryan Howard at first, with Ashy, Herrera, and Jeff Francoeur in the outfield. Carlos Ruiz starting for the first time in this series, the veteran backstop.
Not really the best defense, Jesse. Third most errors for the Phillies in the National League.
And Ruiz, who's over the course of his long career behind the plate done a nice job throwing guys out, really struggling this season. He's lost a good amount of his playing time to Cameron Rupp, who we saw in the first 2 games of this series.
Hey, that could be a key to the game, right? But you can't steal first base. You got to get on first base to challenge that arm.
Saw the Phillies very aggressive last night. Stole a couple of bases. Kind of running and running and running from both teams.
Run, Forrest. You know, when the league average is about 32%, 33, he's at 11.6%. That tells you something.
Another line drive and another one right to one of the Philly defenders. Franco makes the play at third base, and it's already making you think a bit about last night when some balls were stung to the outfield, but no result for the Padre hitters.
It'll drive you crazy, and that's a hang with them. You square it up, no result. Adam ball. Right at him.
So a couple of line outs, and now Matt Kemp takes strike 1 from Williams. Matt 2 for 4 with an RBI last night. That's his team leading 60th run batted in. Broke a tie with Justin Upton. And he hits that one up the middle. They shifted him the other way, and he's able to beat it. Gets it past the shortstop Galvis, and a 2-out base hit for Matt Kemp against Jerome Williams. Shortstop more towards third, and he gets it through.
On contact, right at the belt buckle up, you see that ball, the trajectory down. It's better than working underneath it, because Matt looked like he was out in front of it a little bit. And there goes the no-hitter.
Justin Upton, nice series so far. On base 6 times in the first 2 games against Philadelphia. And he takes low, ball 1. 1 for 3 with a single, a run, a walk last night. Team leading 18 homers. 13 have been here at Petco Park.
Very deep in the outfield too, Jesse. Kind of straight away, very deep. In center field, Herrera is kind of on the shortstop side of second base.
Long pause from Williams, and Upton grounds that one to Galvis at shortstop. He'll go across, and that's it for the Padres here in the bottom of the first. Kemp, a 2-out single, but he's stranded. 1-0 Philadelphia.
Is Colin Ray will be making his debut on Tuesday, moving Odrisamer Despani to the bullpen. And when I spoke with the coaching staff, they're really excited to see the confidence level grow in Colin, the velocity, and just attacking that strike zone. And here's what Josh Stein had to say about it earlier today.
I think his velocity's picked up the last couple of years. I mean, obviously that combined with better fastball command. That's probably the rather than just a new pitch. So those are kind of the two most important things a pitcher can do is throw it hard and throw it where he wants to. And I think Colin's done a better job of that the last couple of years.
And speaking of fastball command, Mark Grant, I know you said Darren Balsley is very excited about the stuff this talented 25-year-old can bring to the mound.
He certainly is, Allie, and thank you very much. He's got a good frame. He's 6'5", about 220. Colin Ray is. And it's an interesting story. Drafted in 2011 in the 12th round. And his San Antonio and El Paso numbers, here you see the numbers. Look at the ERA in a 5-4 record. When a guy is having an ERA of 1.95 at AA and AAA, there's a different dynamic there, especially in AAA. You got a lot of guys coming down. You got a lot of rookies coming up. But overall, they like this kid stuff. And when opponents are only hitting 210, that's a good sign.
So Colin Ray, Tuesday, it's official, against the Cincinnati Reds in the second game of that 3-game series. It'll begin tomorrow.
I'm anxious to see the youngster.
Yeah, it's exciting anytime, a guy gets to come up and make his major league debut. And certainly when he's had this sort of minor league season that he has, he earns that opportunity and something fresh for the San Diego Ball Club.
You know what else is refreshing? Homegrown. Homegrown Fryer. One of ours. Fresh.
Cashner got Galvis to fly to center. Now a 2-ball 1-strike count on the catcher Carlos Ruiz, and 2-2. Ruiz has moved past Dutch Dalton for 4th place on the all-times game caught list for the Philadelphia Phillies. Go back a long way, of course. Bob Boone now ahead of him. Most games started at catcher for this franchise. And he grounds that one to third. Nice on the in-between hop by Solarte. And he throws him out. Got Hervey splashing some leather at the hot corner.
Oh, check that glove. There's a magnet in there. Going to his left, the snatch, and make it look easy. And then plenty of time to gather yourself. Very nicely done. And Glenn Hoffman, former shortstop himself, he loves that play.
There's the pitcher Williams, first pitch swinging, fouling it off. Over the course of his 10-year career, 114 average. Got 4 doubles sprinkled in there. Spent some years in the American League, so not a ton of at-bats. And he goes to Solarte. A little bit more routine this time, and a nice bounce back. 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Cashner in the second. Phillies with a 1-0 lead in the second, and there's some tendencies here for the veteran right-handed pitcher. Opponents hitting .333 against him this year. That is the highest opponent's batting average in all of baseball. And the right-handers, it's not the lefties, it's the right-handed batters who have really been beating up Williams this year. Right-handed hitters are batting .364 against him this season.
Doesn't have that wipeout pitch, and the 8.02 ERA on the road, the highest. Hopefully the Padres can make that number go up as well. But interesting numbers for the veteran right-hander, Jerome Williams.
You see the big number against the right-handed batters. The lefties still hitting .299.
Right.
That's not exactly bad. So he's been pretty equal opportunity this year as far as allowing base hits. And the Padres are going to try and continue that trend here this afternoon.
I think another reason why you see the high numbers on the righties, everything's away, and he throws that cutter into lefties. Breaky ball into lefties.
Sure.
So when a righty is up there and you're constantly getting middle away, I'm not saying that's the exact reason why, but it could be one of the reasons why you see those numbers.
Certainly could. Williams now 33 years old as Alonso goes after the first pitch. .271 average, 4 homers, 25 RBIs for the Padre first baseman. Williams 3-8 on the season, 18 starts. He's been with the Giants, the Cubs, the Nationals, the Angels. I'm not done as Alonso lines that to Ashe in left field. The Astros, the Rangers, and now the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a waiver claim about this time last year from Texas to Philadelphia, and a little bit of a funny situation as far as how he found out.
Yeah, after he was let go by the Texas Rangers, he was with his son at his birthday party at the Lazy River in Arlington. It's one of those water parks. Well, his wife had his phone, and he says, hey, you got a message from this certain area code, 215 area code. So anyway, it was the general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Jerko in the air to left. Another opportunity for Ashe in the sun. 2 away.
Indicating that, hey, we see that you're available. We'd like to have you come join us. So floating down the Lazy River in Arlington, next thing you know, he's in a Philadelphia Philly uniform.
Actually drove from Texas to Anaheim to meet the Phillies, and he started for the Phils 2 days later.
Great story.
2 outs for Derek Norris.
That doesn't happen in any other sport, does it?
No, I don't think so. Go from the Lazy River to the Big A. Pink glove, of course, is in honor and memory of his mother. Lost to cancer in her early 40s. I believe he's the only big leaguer to sort of regularly use the pink glove, but obviously she meant a lot to him, and that's his way of remembering his mom.
Very nice.
Honoring her. Williams, good numbers in his career against the Padres, but of course, some of that goes back quite a ways. How far back does Jerome Williams go? He has pitched at Qualcomm Stadium. He's pitched at the Vet. He's pitched at Citizens Bank Park, Petco Park. There's only about a dozen guys still active that have pitched a game at Qualcomm and the Vet. 1-2.
Hey, as long as you can get with the team that needs your services, until they tear that uniform off you or the phone doesn't ring, I think it's great. A great story for Jerome Williams.
Norris gets a piece, but that's a foul ball. Still 1-2. Derek 1 for 4 last night, 2 for 4 Friday night. Had an RBI single in the opening game of this series. Another 1-2 to Norris. Lays off.
You can see what Williams is trying to do. He's only going to top out at like 90. Trying to just nitpick on those corners. Little breaking ball, little wrinkle down and away. Fastball down and away. Mix up a changeup down and into the righties. He is trying to keep the ball low here against Derek. That was a hanger. Up and away.
Williams got the first 2 men in the first inning. Then Matt Kemp singled with 2 away. Gotten the first 2 here in the second, and Norris battling 2-2.
Two years in independent ball, a year in Taiwan, and making it back to the big leagues for Jerome Williams.
Great story of perseverance as Norris perseveres again with another foul ball at the plate.
Yeah, talk about a guy who's been getting beaten up. I mean, left and right. Foul balls off the grill. He's back in there today.
Day game after night game, which was night game after 12-inning game. Incredible amount of wear and tear on Derek Norris. One would think, but he's good enough to go. And he takes a little low, full count. A little battle here. 8 pitches in this at bat. Payoff pitch to Norris, and a high chopper over to third. Franco, no, a foul ball. Norris fouled it off, maybe the foot or the ankle.
I'll tell you what, if that hit off his foot or ankle, that must have hurt, because that ball super balled up into the air. Let's check it out.
Just another day for Derek Norris.
It'll make him forget about his headache.
Pitch number 10 of the at bat. And another foul ball.
Oh, look at Derek's reaction. He wants that one back. That one was like on a silver platter right down the middle. He's saying to himself, how did I miss that one? As you look at the in the 10th season career numbers for Jerome Williams.
Came up as a 21-year-old in 2003 with the Giants. And as Mark was just talking about, bounced around not only in the big leagues, independent ball, international baseball. Now pitching on a Sunday at Petco Park. 11th pitch of the at bat is fouled back.
That was a changeup from Williams. A nice little battle going on right here.
Six of the 11 pitches in this at bat have been fouled back by Norris. Not making it easy on Williams, who's about to throw his 30th pitch of the afternoon.
See what Carlos Ruiz puts down here. Last pitch was a changeup. 3, a breaking ball, slider.
And that one's hit well out to left center. Herrera trying to track it down. In the alley, he makes the catch. What a battle between Jerome Williams and Derek Norris, who hit it well, but not well enough. 1-0 Philly. The wonder of the sea, and by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres.
Tell you what, we talk about uniforms, baseball uniforms. Oh, what a great looking uniform. The Marine uniform, probably the coolest.
You can't look back.
Oh my gosh, what a good looking uniform.
You're talking about the actual Marines, right? Not the camo jerseys?
Right, yeah. The Marine uniforms, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dress ones with the jackets and the pants and with the red stripe. Very nice.
A little stretch for Cesar Hernandez. Leading off for the Phillies in this game and in this inning. 1-1 from Andrew Cashner, who used 20 pitches to get through the first, but only needed 10 in the second. RBI double from Ryan Howard in the opening frame is the only scoring we've had so far. Cash in his last start against Philadelphia, go back to September of last season, through a 2-hit shutout. And against Philly in his career, 2-0 with a 1.25 ERA. Strike two. Hernandez leads the Phillies in both walks and on base percentage, and that's for a team that doesn't walk all that frequently.
And we talked about that in our open. Fourth fewest strikeouts in the National League for these Phillies, and the fewest walks. It tells you something. They put the ball in play, and we've seen some aggressive swings from the youngsters on this Philly team. And that would result in a lot of foul balls as well, don't you think, Jesse?
Yeah, a lot of souvenirs. Sometimes you make the joke, hey, everybody in attendance is going to get a ball today, but there are probably too many people here this afternoon for that. A couple of great crowds.
Yeah.
Last couple of days. Sellout last night, almost 45,000. As that one is ripped foul down the right field line by Hernandez. Last night, the 9th sellout of the season here at Petco Park. Most since 2007 in a single year here downtown. Today they come out to see Cash. (3-2) to Hernandez, and another foul ball. This is like part 2 of Jerome Williams and Derek Norris. In the bottom of the second, Williams threw 16 pitches, 12 of them to Norris. 10th from Cashner to Hernandez, and he got it. Second strikeout of the afternoon for Cash as he freezes the Philadelphia second baseman. Nice fastball.
He might have been guessing something else because Frozen Pizza just watches it go by. He thinks that's ball 4. He's about ready to toss his bat. Knee-high fastball. Take a hike.
Herrera extended the hitting streak to 12 with a single in the first inning. He and Hernandez each reached to open up the game against Cashner. Seen him play center field throughout the weekend. Going back, making some nice running catches. 1-1.
Well, that's a good sign right there when a hitter kind of straightens up a little bit on that two-seam fastball in, and it's a called strike.
Got a fanatic, a rally monkey. Old hat.
Old hat meaning boring, or old hat meaning like literally old hat?
No, the guy's hat looked old.
Oh.
Yeah, kind of beat up, sweaty. Herrera swings through that fastball at 95, 2-2.
That's easy gas from Andrew Cashner. Free and easy delivery, ball jumping out of his hand, and well located at 95.
2-2 to Herrera. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cashner here in the third. 2 away.
Went with the breaky ball. Backdoor breaky ball. Out of the hand. What is it, like a little slider or something? Right down the outside corner. Or maybe, may have been a curveball. Kind of left it up a little bit and didn't break as much, but good result for Andrew.
Another one of the dynamic young guys, Franco. Into left center, Will Venable there. And another 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Kachner. A couple of Ks here in the third. 1-0 Phillies as we go to the bottom half. He got Hernandez and he got Herrera. Look at our Arco top tier profile. Carlos Ruiz. He has caught 4 no-hitters. A couple by Roy Halladay, including that perfect game in May of 2010 in Miami. Only one other guy can say he has caught 4 no-hitters.
All the focus is on the pitcher, obviously, but the catcher deserves a lot of credit behind a no-hitter, I feel. It's not just that one guy, and what an accomplishment by Carlos Ruiz to be part of history. He's had a great career.
Will Venable leading off, and he pops that one up. Franco in the sun with the shades makes the catch. A little bit adventurous over there.
I'm going to say good career. I think the word great is thrown around too much.
Yeah. Good
career. Here's a guy who's into his 9th year, Carlos Ruiz, and you know what, Jesse? A 271 average for a catcher, a big league, that's.
When you look back at this last era of Phillies baseball, which I think it's fair to say is just about ended, it's Howard and it's Utley, but he was a key cog there for a lot of years. Jimmy Rollins, of course, debuted back in 2006 and has really been their regular catcher since 2007. That's a long run with a lot of success. Signed as a 16-year-old with the Phils back in 1998. Here's Kachner with 1 out, nobody aboard. And he's ahead, 2-0.
This might be one of those days where Andrew Kachner goes yard.
Oh?
Jerome Williams, 88, 89. If he leaks one over the heart of the plate, Andrew puts a charge in one.
Does have 1 career home run. Came a couple of years ago. Certainly has the ability to bunt his way on as well.
He's an all-around great athlete.
Couple of doubles, a triple in his career as well.
Oh, that was the hanger he wants back. Huh? Hanging slider.
Two. And a little chopper to third. That one could be tough for Franco. Goes to the bare hand. He's not going to be able to make the play. Infield single for Andrew Kachner. And the Padres have their second base runner of the afternoon.
Well, when a pitcher has a little bit of movement, doesn't matter if it's 87 or 97, you top that baseball with 2 strikes. Franco playing back. We've seen him make that play. He's a pretty good third baseman. And Andrew Cashner with that speed is aboard with an infield knock.
Turns the order over, and Alexi Amarista, the leadoff man, comes in. Nice week for the little ninja. Seeing a good amount of time at the top of the batting order. And first pitch swinging. Howard knocks it down. He's only going to be able to step on the bag. Gets the second out of the inning as Cashner ends up at second base. Certainly are seeing some early swings against Jerome Williams.
Yeah, hit hard right at people. That was evident in the first 2 hitters. Amarista, Solarte. Line drive to short, line drive to third. Keep swinging, hopefully they'll fall.
Solarte been one of the best Padre hitters this year when it comes to runners in scoring position, 2 outs or otherwise. He'll try and do his part to try and tie this thing up in the bottom of the third. .377, second time through the order.
Well, let's see if he throws a lot of off-speed stuff here with that runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Solarte steps back, takes a strike, 1-1. I hate to leave people hanging on stuff. I said a few minutes ago, Ruiz, one of 2 catchers to have ever caught 4 no-hitters. The other, Jason Varitek. Just so that people aren't rushing to their baseball encyclopedias to try and figure it out. Big swing from Solarte.
Cutter. See if Williams tries to expand the strike zone here with a 1-2 count. Maybe bounce something off speed down and away.
Cashner leads off second, and the 1-2 to Solarte is hit on the ground over to second base. Hernandez gets some friendly hops, throws it to Howard, and that's it for the Pods here in the third.
Second timeout. Ram trucks tool the tray. We're going to focus on base running. Here it is. Remember this ball hit the right field, Matt Kemp? It wasn't going to be caught. It was not going to be caught. The runners had to hold up, right? Hernandez and Herrera, once they see daylight, it's to the wall. They're off and running. Now watch as third base coach John Mizorok. He's almost got bottleneck traffic. It's rush hour. He says one guy, hey, he steps in front of the other runner. You can't touch him. If you touch the runner, he's out. Lizrock stops the second runner. The Phillies only score one there. You have to let that ball go when you're in between no man's land, Mark Sweeney. When that line drive, you don't know whether it's going to be caught. You got to go halfway, hold your ground, and that's exactly what the Phillies did.
Yeah, good base running with the coach. I thought it was a really good job of handling that second guy. That's the difficult part because your head's always on a swivel. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Ryan Howard to lead it off against Cashner here in a 1-0 game, top of the fourth. Francoeur and Ashe, the other scheduled hitters, as Cash delivers strike one to big Ryan Howard. RBI double his first time up. 19 home runs on the season for Howard, including one Friday night, and he hits that one right into the shift and right at Jed Jerko. That's why they do these things.
That's a hang with him.
Talk about Andrew Cashner and some of the things you can pick up numbers-wise against him this year. The well-hit average by right-handed batters, second lowest in all of baseball.
That means he avoids the sweet spot. Balls hit in play. Andrew Cashner's got the stuff to where he's avoiding the sweet spot. There you see why the second lowest in Major League Baseball, .066. And then the strike percentage on 2 strikes, 70%. That's the 6th highest in all of baseball.
Well, you think about it too, guys, and handling the 3, 4, 5 guys. Always the main part of the order. Andrew Cashner, if you look at his year, struggled at times in moments of games. But if you look at the body of work, he's been pretty consistent with around the strike zone. The stuff is definitely there, and you know that. But you handle the middle of the order. That's really the indication of how your year's going.
Makes a lot of sense as Jeff Francoeur takes ball 3.
Yeah, the league average on that 3, 4, 5 hitters is 270. Andrew's opponent's batting average for 3, 4, 5 hitters is 357. So he's making an adjustment there.
See the numbers for Francoeur as of late, doing his part. The other thing with Cashner, got a confused guy on the right, by the way. The other thing with Cashner, you talk about the 2 strike counts and throwing a strike 70% of the time. He's going after guys, right? You know, he's not trying to set anybody up or get too complicated with it. He's just coming right at you.
Yeah, I think efficiency is very important, as we see Amarista gloving that pop-up, which really does come into play with the sun field and glasses, all that. But you look at Andrew Cashner being aggressive, being efficient as a power pitcher, trying to get those strikeouts. When you rack up strikeouts, usually you're racking up the pitch count, which right around 100, they're going to start making decisions.
And you know what? You can look at that strike percentage with 2 strikes a different way as well. 70% sounds great, but are those pitches right down the middle, and are those hits, or are they nasty sliders on the outside corner?
Bunt attempt for Ashe, and Solarte can do absolutely nothing with it. Perfectly placed by Cody Ashe. Philly's got a couple of guys who can bunt for hits.
Well, Cody Ashe with 2 outs, laying down the bunt. It's one of those plays that almost looks selfish because your thought process as a hitter is trying to get into scoring position. How you do that is trying to hit into a double or more. In our Phantom Cam, executing that bunt, and it was picture perfect. But now, what is he going to do? Is he going to try to steal second base early in the count? You have to try to get in scoring position with 2 outs.
He's 0 for 2 trying to steal bases this year. He's more a power guy than a speed guy. And that one's hit right to Yonder Alonso. Galvis grounds out, and the inning is over. A hit and a man left for Philly, middle of the 4th. Sturm is standing by with a special guest, Allie.
Yes, on this beautiful military Sunday here at Petco Park, I'm honored to be joined by Shane Crutzen, who is a martial artist, MMA fighter, and served in 5th Division Marines. Shane, how did the MMA journey begin for you?
I think it was more or less trying to find another brotherhood after the military and something else to push myself towards. So I think that's how I pushed into MMA.
You served your 18th birthday in Iraq. At such a young age, how did that experience revolutionize you?
It more or less, after September 11th, I was 17, I decided to join the Marine Corps, and it forced me to grow up fast. Turning 18 in Iraq during OIF 1 was a monumental thing that made me what I am today.
And a very interesting tattoo vertical of your back. Can you explain the significance behind that?
The tattoo on my back is in tribute to the brave men that I served with in Iraq. There's 18 names down my back that are from 3rd Battalion 5th Marines, and there's one name on my back that is from the 224th out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a gentleman I served with. You know, these guys are just the bravest of the brave, and I didn't want their names to go on, you know, forgotten.
Well, Shane, thank you so much for your service. And on a lighter note, I was very impressed with your first pitch there, the little army crawl and all.
Absolutely. You know, it's a little throw of the grenade, and had to make it, you know, honorable to all the military members.
Well, thank you. Guys?
All right, Allie, thanks a lot. Shane, thank you very much as well, as Kemp rolls this one to Franco at third base. And here's that first pitch that Allie and Shane were just talking about. This is not your standard first pitch, gentlemen.
That's original.
Got it right there, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that, you better throw a strike, right?
Yeah.
And he did. Brandon Maurer on the catch. One out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Justin Upton against Jerome Williams, who's allowed just a couple of singles to the Padres. Matt Kemp, a 2-out single in the 1st, and Andrew Kashner, an infield single in the 3rd. Strike one to Upton at 88. Good series for Justin, and we take it back a little bit into the Milwaukee games as well. Been on base a lot here this weekend, but 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short, and now 1-1.
You're almost anticipating Justin Upton with one of those big bombs. Hasn't had a huge one lately. Obviously the New York Mets home run, but here at home.
Yeah, 13 of his 18 home runs are here at Petco Park. Day game. It doesn't matter. One could be blowing in a gale and he'd still hit one out.
Exactly right.
Yeah, he's not worried about atmospheric conditions. Not with the power he's got.
Oh, now you're a meteorologist?
Studied it a little. Hits that one hard, but on the ground, and Franco on the backhand gets him to the 2nd out. A couple of grounders to 3rd from Kemp and Upton. 2 away for Yonder Alonso.
Mark Sweeney, we've seen some hard hit balls off the bats of the Padres. They're just not finding the holes.
Not finding holes, but also defensively for the Phillies. They look very comfortable, especially these younger guys. And on the left side, Maikel Franco hasn't had a good offensive series, but defensively looks very comfortable over there at third base. Good hands.
Not too dissimilar to last night, where the Padres were hitting some balls hard but not having success, as Alonso hits that one on the ground. Howard flips to Williams, and 3 quick groundouts here in the 4th. 1-0 Philadelphia. Here in the 5th inning. Mentioned earlier, Ruiz with some trouble throwing guys out, trying to steal this season. Certainly not the case for young Austin Hedges of the San Diego Padres. He has done a very good job this season trying to throw guys out, stealing. And Benito Santiago, of course, no problem either. Now, you got a little bit of a different sample size here for Hedges and Santiago, but from a percentage standpoint, that's a nice start for Austin Hedges.
Well, I think Austin Hedges, when he came to the big leagues, everything was as advertised. And all we heard about him was behind the plate, and it was great seeing him respond at the big league level. Mechanically, accuracy. And when you look at those photos, the one of Austin, very quick with his feet. I'd like to see him throw from his knees once or twice just to see, give it a look-see. But how about the accuracy from Benito when you saw him off balance from his knees?
Yeah.
It was still a P-Rod down to second base on the money.
I think athletically, you look at the body of work, and for Austin Hedges, moving up to this level, you wonder how he executed game plans. He executed calling a game and handling a pitching staff. He has answered all of that and checking all of the boxes.
He's just going to get better, too.
It's going to get better, and you know that when you're a catch and throw guy in the minor leagues and you're working offensively, sometimes that can be a challenge, mentally at this level. But he has handled that very well, and with the lack of playing time and the consistent playing time, I've been very impressed with him.
I was talking to somebody about it before the game today, and he's saying how kind of the lack of consistent playing time, he is getting better behind the plate and at the plate. That shows that behind the scenes, when he's not in a game, he must be working his tail off.
And exactly right. To your point, Jesse, and it's not, you're always working on catching and throwing, but offensively, if you watch his swing and the functionality of his swing, he has really refined it. He's shortened his swing.
Ruiz in the air to center. Venable drifting. And Ruiz is done for the first out here in the 5th.
And if you think about it, mechanically, you're constantly working on it, and it has to be during batting practice, early work, in the cages. But his swing is shortened, but also he's in a much better position to be more aggressive. And we've seen that from him. And I know the coaching staff and really has put in a lot of work with Austin Hedges, because you have to if you're not getting playing time in the minor leagues and you're developing at the big league level.
Jerome Williams grounded to third his first time up. Cashner working quickly to the veteran pitcher, who hits that one to Amarista. Alexi was kind of lining it up, waiting for it. Made the leap, the catch, 2 away.
That was almost like a changeup off the bat of Williams, and I almost was guessing that Amarista was going to jump a little bit too soon. He anticipated that ball being hit harder than it really was, and little big swing comes up with the catch at shortstop.
Kind of had to reach back for it. Had some funky English off the bat. A couple of quick outs for Cashner as the leadoff man Hernandez comes in. He's 1 for 2 today, has scored the only run of the day. And he takes strike 1.
Well, Andrew Cashner has settled in after that first inning. He looks very comfortable now, almost playing catch. We always say that. Plays catch with his battery mate, Derek Norris, today. 2-seam movement, the good breaking ball, the slider. Also broke out the good curveball today and reducing the speed on his breaking ball, which I think is a good look.
Was getting some pitches up early. Has made an adjustment since then. It's a good pitch there. Dot in the outside half of the plate with movement.
With 2 outs last inning, we saw Ashe bunt for a hit. A little bit of a surprise, but this guy, Hernandez, certainly more than capable of doing that. 7 bunt hits this season. One of the top numbers in the National League. That's out of play with 2 strikes, and now 3 strikes as Cashner gets him for the 4th K of the afternoon, and a nice quick 5th inning for Andrew Cashner. Halfway through, it's still 1-0 Phillies. Padres coming back up.
And that Padres nothing, and tweet your strongest fan photo. This is a great way for the fans to get involved in our telecast.
Sure.
You have to use the hashtag though. Hashtag SD Data Strong Fan. You just might find yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to our good friends at T-Mobile.
It's a good way to get famous. You get to be on TV. All your friends can see it. You take a picture, put it on social media.
Oh, how cute is that?
Jerome Williams is rolling. 18th start of the season. He is yet to have an outing in which the opposition does not score. He's given up one run a couple of times, including his last time out against the Dodgers. Pitched 5 innings in that game, took a no decision, allowed just the 1 run on 7 hits. Just 2 hits so far here today against the Padres, one of them an infield single for Andrew Cashner.
Well, Jesse, anytime it's velocity's not the issue and you don't have a plus fastball, typically a good scouting report or a plan of attack is to go the other way, necessarily just looking the other way and reacting off of that bad breaking ball. So your thought process, if you're a right-handed hitter, look for that right center gap. It doesn't mean you're hitting it there. It just means you're in better position to hit that bad breaking ball, because you know that's what he's trying to set up. He's trying to give you that look of fastball away, maybe bust you in with a fastball a little bit, but that little cutter slider and also that slow breaking ball come into play.
Looks like a fastball away. Ruiz puts down the sign, and Jerko reaches for it, grounds it off Williams, but to the second baseman Hernandez, who throws him out, and another ground ball out for Jerome Williams. Each of the last 6 outs now, ground balls on the infield. Derek Norris and then Will Venable. Padre catcher coming up, and in his last 9 games hitting close to 400. That's good. Singled in the 4th inning last night. Couple of hits on Friday. Drove in a run. Talking about Benito Santiago all weekend, of course, as he was inducted into the Padre Hall of Fame yesterday. His name comes up in a Derek Norris note. 17 infield hits for Norris this year. That leads all major league catchers, and it's the most for any Padre catcher since Benny had 18 back in 1991. And you see that same kind of hustle from both of those guys.
Absolutely. I mean, Benny could pick him up and put him down, no doubt about it. That was one of his traits, the whole package. And Derek Norris, we know doesn't have blazing speed, but I tell you what, he puts pressure on those infielders. Playing them back, you top the ball, you beat it out. Playing back, you hit a hole, they get to it.
Yesterday, Benito Santiago and his former teammate Gary Templeton inducted into the San Diego Padre Hall of Fame. We also found out officially that there will be a new structural Hall of Fame here at Petco Park next year in time for the All-Star game in July. Norris takes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. What a great day yesterday. Other than the result of the game, but Gary Templeton and Benito Santiago just adding to the history of the San Diego Padres.
It's nice to have you guys having Trevor on the set also pregame.
That one is a towering fly ball to right field. Francoeur makes the catch, 2 away. As we do a little game break here, and NL West, NL East, Rockies and the Nationals. Cargo goes deep off of Max Scherzer. And that wasn't it for the Rockies, as DJ LeMahieu, a 2-run single, and the Rocks beat the Nats 6-4 in D.C.
Yeah, Steven Strasburg last night, 12 strikeouts, a win, and then the Washington Nationals continue to play uninspired baseball. If you look at it, it's one of those stories that I think everyone put them in the World Series because of their starting rotation.
Strasburg is a big key also, coming back from injury and having an outing like that. That's good news for the Nats.
We've had a lot of players. Obviously, Bryce Harper has had a MVP type year. But you would expect that club to be much better in the standings right now.
2 outs, nobody on for Will Venable. A 1-1 count. And he chops one foul at the plate. National University standings, and you look at the NL East, the Mets are surging, the Nationals are scuffling a bit. And the Phillies now the 2nd worst record in baseball. Hopped ahead of the Marlins for the first time in a long time.
Well, I think the Mets are a real good story, and they added some pieces at the trading deadline, but also if they're going to win that division, they're going to be doing it with pitching.
Those two teams will see one another quite a bit down the stretch. Nationals and the Mets should make for some good baseball. Padres will see the Nationals coming up not too long from now. They'll actually take a trip to both Philadelphia and Washington later this month. 3 in D.C. and then 3 in Philly over the last weekend in August. Always strange when you're seeing a team for the first time this late in the season. It was the case with Milwaukee last week. Philadelphia this week as Venable goes to left. 2-out single for the Padres center fielder. Third hit of the day against Williams, and that gets the pitcher Cashner to the plate with 2 away.
Well, nice hitting by Will Venable going the other way and just taking it where it's pitched. 5.5 hole. You got to love that. In our Phantom Cam, you see him how he tracks that with his eyes back and lets that ball travel just a little bit more, driving a hard single through that hole.
3 hits for the Padres, 1 by this guy, Cashner. Infield single in his only other at bat. Check on Venable. Jerome Williams, 0-6 on the road this year with an ERA over 8. Not allowed a run through the first 4 2/3 here this afternoon.
Well, Jesse, you take out a look at the center fielders, and out there, the center fielders on the first base side. Big gap in left field for Andrew Cashner, especially with that breaking ball guy. See if he elevates one.
Reaches and fouls it back. Venable at first with 2 outs. Cashner up, and the Padres trying to break through against Williams. 0-1 to Andrew, and he tries to push a bunt up towards third base. Franco on the bare hand with the follow throw, not in time. Andrew Cashner is 2 for 2. And it looked like he surprised the third baseman, Franco.
Well, earlier in the game, I said 2-out bunts are not very good, but in this situation, I love it because Andrew Cashner has speed. He has the element of Franco playing a little bit deeper and also getting down the line and putting Will Venable in scoring position. Our Phantom Cam shows you that, and that ball sits nicely. Almost a Bellata golf ball.
Kind of checked up on him.
It was nice. And
They're
getting down the line.
They're not giving him the hit, by the way. Giving an error to Franco.
Really?
That's a bad call.
I think that's a base knock.
I thought so, too. For the moment, it's an E5.
That's a knock.
2 on, 2 out for Amarista. And Alexi takes the breaking ball strike, 0-1. I'm just the messenger.
We just yelled at you, didn't we?
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if that one's changed at some point.
I agree. That was a tough play.
Anytime a guy's got to charge in and try to barehand it, it's hard to give him an error. Those batting average points are precious to these pitchers.
They are.
The big picture, of course, is that there are 2 on now, and Amarista takes a big swing and a miss at the slider. Williams ahead of him, 0-2. Cash contributing in more than one way this afternoon. Allowed just 1 run on 4 hits in 5 innings. Been on base twice. Amarista trying to keep it going.
He'll need a new shillelagh on that one. Another cutter inside to Amarista, trying to pound him in. With that said, Ryan Howard's playing over towards the right on the infield. There's Ryan Howard.
Williams jumped ahead of Amarista. Now Alexi trying to hang tough. Venable and Cashner lead. The 0-2 is hit right to Ryan Howard. That's kind of the story of the last couple days for the Padres. They leave a couple here in the 5th and still trail 1-0. To you by Saquon Casino. Play, win, together in the heart of San Diego. By Sony's Action Cam. Prove yourself. And by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. Good pitching on a military Sunday at Petco Park. Jerome Williams and Andrew Cashner. Just one run between the Phillies and the Padres so far. First inning RBI double for Ryan Howard against Cash, and that has been it. Two, 3, and 4 for Philadelphia here in the 6th. Herrera, Franco, and Howard. This guy has certainly been a pest this weekend. Got to be Sun Smart. Struck out his last time. But he did extend the hitting streak to 12 games in the 1st, and he pops this one foul out of play left side.
Mark, I want to ask you as a hitter, when you know you're going to be facing a guy like Jerome Williams, and that's what's great about this game of baseball, because you can just throw the numbers out the window. But when you look at a guy, you just eliminate all that? You just look at video? Do you just try to... What is your preparation when a guy like Jerome Williams is in the twilight of his career and the numbers that he has? What are you thinking?
Well, what you want to know is what his out pitch is, what he feels comfortable with.
Herrera in the air, right field and deep. Kemp is looking up, and it's gone. A big-time homer to right for Odubel Herrera. His big weekend continues, and Philly leads 2-0 here in the 6th. How about this kid?
Mark, we'll get back to your point in a little bit, because I want to comment on this pitch that was just hit out of the ballpark by Herrera. You talk about plate coverage, and you talk about where hitters like to see the ball. Look at the glove of Norris. It's away. That ball's what? Middle in, maybe on the inside corner. Gets his hands in nicely, and a little bit of pop from the left side for Herrera. That was a case of Andrew wanting to go away. It leaked middle in, and he turned on it.
Maikel Franco 0 for 2 has twice flown to center field.
Well, the swing of Herrera, and you could see him even backing the ball up, but squaring it up and pulling his hands inside to keep that fair. But that was a no-doubter off the bat. 425 feet. This young man's getting a lot of confidence, gaining a lot of confidence, and that's dangerous for a young hitter.
Talked earlier about sort of this last era of Phillies baseball and Ruiz and Utley and Howard and Rollins and, you know, the changing of the guard that's taking place. But it takes more than a couple pieces here and there, but they're certainly looking okay at the ground floor of the thing.
Well, Jesse, sometimes that takes time for an organization to transfer into that, because you have loyalty towards your players, and especially the players that took you to a World Series and ended up winning a World Series. So that really factors into it. But then the younger guys coming in and coming out of the break, you know the record. They played inspired baseball, but also energy you're getting from this club.
Might take a handful of years. I mean, you got to start not only the position players we talked about, but building that rotation back up.
That one's hit well by Franco to center, but Venable comes over and catches the sinking line drive. One away here in the 6th. On this Military Sunday, Marines from Camp Pendleton were brought to the game on the Fan Express, courtesy of National University. To date, National University has given more than $1 million to current and former military. Welcome to the ballpark.
Still 2-0.
2-0 Phillies, 1 out, top of the 6th, and Ryan Howard stands in against Andrew Kashner. Lays off the high fastball, 1-0. Howard drove in the first run of the game. Back in the first inning. Lined out to second base, into the shift, his last time up. Both of his hits in this series have driven in a run. Homer on Friday night. Cash trying to settle back in after the leadoff homer by Herrera here in the 6th. And that's a little topper back to the mound. 2 away.
I always like to see the reaction of a pitcher after giving up a home run. How do you bounce back? James Shields done very well in that category, and Andrew Kashner has done quite well after the leadoff. The hard hit ball to center field, but caught, and then the half check swing by Ryan Howard kept him off balance on that breaking ball.
Jeff Francoeur with 2 outs, nobody on. There's a Frenchie swing. Right back to work after the home run.
That's
Get a new ball.
Yeah, part of the process of being a pitcher, young pitcher. It's so hard to erase that if you're a young pitcher. You get rattled, but you can't let that bother you. Easier said than done.
Free swinging Frenchie into left field for a 2-out single. Francoeur now 1 for 3. First hit of the series.
Well, Jeff Francoeur is a free swinger, but on our Phantom Cam, you can see him pulling his hands in very nicely in that fastball with the velocity, and also mechanically. Jeff Francoeur looks very comfortable. Obviously, he has a lot of confidence with a year has gone, how it's gone. It's a guy that battled in AAA all year long, and mentally getting past that and knowing you're still a big leaguer and having a year that he's having. I commend him for that.
That's hard to do.
When he got called up last summer here, a lot of the questions he was fielding from the media were about his post-playing career. Hey, what about broadcasting? What about coaching? Almost assuming that he was going to be done as a professional baseball player. And here he is a year later. And Jeff Francoeur's got 10 home runs this season, and he's hitting almost 280.
And you know what, Jesse, and sorry, Mark, I'll say this, too, because it's happened to me at the big league level and then going down to the minor leagues. It's very difficult.
Ground ball to second, and that should be the inning. We'll talk more about that.
That's a great story. That's the reason why I chuckled. Great story.
In the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Kashner giving up the leadoff home run to Odubel Herrera, and the Phillies now with a 2-0 lead in the middle of the 6th. trying to sweep the Yankees. Josh Donaldson does it again. Second batter of the game, 31st home run of the season. And the Blue Jays shut out the Yankees for a second straight day. First time the Yankees shut out on consecutive days since 1999.
Wow.
Toronto
That's
is
incredible.
making a major push in the American League East.
And Josh Donaldson arguably is the MVP of that American League. And what a great trade for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Incredible.
You've got Tulowitzki leading off when he's playing. You've got Donaldson batting second. The 2-1. Little John Sterling there from
That was good
from the stadium. Yeah, but the Bombers, the Pinstripers, getting shut out at the stadium.
Back-to-back days. Solarte, Kemp, and Upton against Williams here in the 6th. Now a 2-0 game. As you take a look at the American League East standings, you know, honestly, as recently as a week ago, people were saying, well, the Blue Jays shouldn't focus on the Yankees. They should focus on the wild card. And go into the Bronx. They sweep New York, and now a game and a half out.
No, they flexed their muscles going into New York, and really a statement. I don't think a lot of people are believing New York because of the starting pitching. They have lacked starting pitching. You see Tanaka, he doesn't have the same stuff. And also CC Sabathia has struggled. So and Pineda's on the DL. This is a team that is reeling if they don't have their offensive guns going.
And I know it's easy for me to sit here and say, you know, I'll pick the Blue Jays, but with the acquisitions they've made, I like the Jays.
Just the first strikeout of the afternoon for Jerome Williams. He has had the Padres put the ball in play, and more times than not this afternoon has worked out for him.
What has been the successful pitch to the left-handed hitters? Got a little cut fastball in, getting ahead and burying it in. Make sure you're getting it in. That's a big key.
All right, so on the top of this inning, we were talking about Jeff Francoeur and, you know, some of the challenges of going down to the minor leagues and making another push at the big league level. And Mark Sweeney, you're speaking from experience.
You know, everyone has a story, Jesse, and it's not like you don't want to talk about your scenario, but I was in Colorado, got sent down to AAA, and I was surprised. And the general manager met me 20 minutes later and said, hey, by the way, some of the people in your organization would think that you're going to be a good hitting coach someday. Have you thought about that? And literally my reaction, I was still frustrated I got sent down to AAA. But then your realization of wondering, is this it? Is this the mentality that I have to have, or what's next? And for Jeff Francoeur, and that's why I'm telling it, Jeff Francoeur spending the whole year in the minor leagues is one of those things that you wonder, is this it? And I give him a lot of credit. I know a lot of people out there are saying, listen, you're playing baseball, you should love it. Yes, I agree with that. But Jeff Francoeur went above and beyond that, said, listen, I am not going to let baseball beat me. I'm going to get to the big league level again and be successful. And I credit him for that.
And Jess, you said earlier, he's only 31 years old, correct?
Yeah. 2-1 to Matt Kemp, and now 2-2. Francoeur played in 10 games with the Padres last year at the big league level. Spent most of the season at AAA El Paso. Hugely popular there for the Chihuahuas. Joked earlier he could run for mayor of El Paso and win the election, but you know, when he was here for those couple weeks or whatever it was in the summer, as Kemp strikes out, changeup from Williams, and the first 2 strikeouts of the day for the Phillies starter comes here in the 6th. And everybody was asking Francoeur, well, what's next? You know, hey, you'd be a great coach, kind of like your situation. Hey, you'd be a great analyst on TV. You know, go back to home in Atlanta. And he was like, no, I'm going to keep still trying to play baseball. And again, here he is a year later having a very nice Renaissance season.
This isn't Julio Franco at 42 or 40 or however old he was.
I think he's 56.
Right. But you're right.
Yeah. Ball 1 to Justin Upton.
I think if you look at it, guys, last year when Jeff Francoeur came up, and I remember the interview you had with him in Chicago, it was the best interview I saw all year long last year because you heard the passion in his voice. You heard how passionate he was to get to the big league level again. And that is the ultimate goal, to get there and stay there. And it takes a lot to stay at this level because there is obviously a lot of talent.
Speaking of talent, how about this kid at the plate? Talked a lot about him this year. And you know what, Mark? We talked about him in our pregame show. This series hitting over 403 for his last 7 before this game. And I went back to that hit in New York, the opposite field home run, and then he had a hit here, opposite field. It's a big part of his game because we know that he can pull the ball.
Well, he has power to all fields, and that's probably, you know, in his introductory presser, he said, I don't care where I hit, whether it's Petco Park or anywhere else, and he's proven that. He's had a lot of success here power-wise. Obviously, the average is not where he wants to be, and he's going to go through that hot streak, but having that intent in a batter's box is very important. I think Justin Upton has that.
Jerome Williams rolling right along here in the 6th inning. Struck out Solarte and Kemp. And now full count to Justin Upton.
You know what concerns me about this game, guys, is as Williams continues to cruise here. You get into that bullpen of the Phillies. They've got some good young arms down there, mid-90s. They're going to have to play some really big-time catch-up on the hard stuff.
That is long and that is deep, and Jerome Williams could forget the shutout because Justin Upton has just taken it way out of Petco Park. 19th of the season for Upton, the 14th here at home, and it's a 2-1 game in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, full count for Justin Upton. And you almost sensed that there was going to be a moment for Justin Upton. The way he was swinging the bat, fouling pitches off, but just barely there. Well, here it is. And Justin Upton, you can see on the right side, the location of the pitch elevated for Jerome Williams, not the velocity, but the swing is right there, and barreling that baseball up with that slight uppercut. That was a beautiful swing by Justin Upton, and loud.
Yeah, those are the mistakes that he is supposed to crush, and that was a mistake. 103.9 off the barrel of the bat of Jay Upton.
Mention his 14th homer here. That's relevant because the Petco Park record for a single season is 15. So he's one away, and we're here in early August. Back to Williams, and Alonso thrown out, but the Padres on the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Phillies starter Williams was cruising, but then Justin Upton with 2 outs in the 6th stepped up and sent one deep to left. His 19th home run of the season. 2-1 Philadelphia. Thanks, man. Phillies as we go to the 7th inning, and on this day in Padres history, brought to you by Geico, we remember Mike Piazza belted a 2-run homer off Pedro Martinez of the Mets and nearly hit a 3rd one in the 8th inning during a 4-3 Padre loss in New York.
Well, that kid could hit him a long way. Mike Piazza.
A Philly guy.
Oh, Mike Piazza. Paisan. Capiche?
Grew up outside of Philadelphia. As Andrew Kashner goes to work against Freddie Galvis. 7-8-9 for Philly here in the 7th inning. Kashner and Jerome Williams doing their thing, and it's not the first time this year we've talked about Andrew Kashner and run support. It's been a struggle at times, and in his 11 losses, 9 times, Padres have scored 2 or fewer runs.
Hey, tough to win ball games that way, but Andrew Cashner, he's been around the block. He's mentally tough to know that. He just has to control what he can do.
Into left field for a base hit. And the leadoff man aboard here in the 7th.
First pitch fastball to 22 of 24 batters, and that's the percentage there at 92%. Season average is 70.
So what do you make of that? More first pitch fastballs today than usual.
Getting ahead, it's an aggressive.
Runner goes, and the hit and run works out perfectly for Philadelphia. And they are set up with runners on the corners and nobody out here in the 7th. That's how they draw it up.
Yeah, to me, that stat we were just talking about, it just shows me that Andrew Cashner wants to try to prove to these Philly hitters, hey, I'm going to try to get ahead with the fastball. You prove to me you can hit it. And that was the first pitch fastball, it looked like. Taking the other way. I thought that ball was going to hit the runner. Very, very close. Well, Philly's got runners at the corners here with nothing, with no outs. Got something going here.
Infield in with Jerome Williams coming in to hit. Philly pitcher 0 for 2. And we'll see how Pete McCannon, the interim manager of the Phillies, wants to play this one. Gets the bunt down. Alonso comes in to field it, and a successful sacrifice. 3-4 for Williams. As Ruiz goes into scoring position, 1 away. And we take a look at the Cholula flamethrower.
Wow. The Conroe Comet getting up to 97. And that's hot sauce.
Yeah, it is.
As Mark Sweeney would say. And he's no longer with us. Great having Mark in the booth. He's on his way to try to find a fish taco.
Pat Murphy on his way out to the mound. Looks like that'll be all for Andrew Cashner. And it will be. So with 1 out and runners on 2nd and 3rd in the top of the 7th, Andrew Cashner will depart. Pat Murphy will go to the bullpen. 1-run game here at Petco Park. Ryan Howard in the top of the 1st inning, an RBI double just out of the reach of Matt Kemp to bring home Cesar Hernandez. That gave Philly a 1-0 lead. They would add on in the 6th, the leadoff homer by Odubel Herrera, 425 feet out to right. That made it 2-0 Phillies. But in the bottom of that inning, with 2 outs and nobody on, Justin Upton would go way out of here against Jerome Williams. That got the Padres on the board, making it a 2-1 game. And after 6 innings, that is the score. Here in the 7th, though, Phillies are threatening. A couple of men on with 1 out. Andrew Cashner departs, and Brandon Maurer comes in.
He inherits a couple of runners, and with the infield in, got to work down here. The thing that happens here is if, working down is great, but if you get one off the plate, you bounce it over the infielders' heads. Hopefully it's just a nice 1 or 2 hopper to the middle infielder.
First pitch swinging, and it's out of play off the bat of Cesar Hernandez. The pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
There's 7 wins for Brandon Maurer. Right place, right time. Come in down by a run, tie score. Your team ends up scoring, you get credit for a win. Got to do some work here. Leave Andrew Kastner's runners out there.
That one is through to right field for a base hit. It'll get a run home as Ruiz stops at third base, and it's 3-1 Philadelphia. The infield was drawn in. Hernandez got it through. And that's one inherited runner crossing the plate.
As a middle reliever, you come in and you really take pride of trying to make good pitches and leave your starters runners out there. Hernandez 2 hits this afternoon. Pretty short, quick to the baseball there on that pitch with the infield drawn in, cuts down the range.
And with the left-handed hitting Odubel Herrera due up next, Pat Murphy again going to walk out there and could very well have Frank Garces or Mark Zepchinski come in. 3-1 Philly, still just 1 out here in the 7th.
The green is where Andrews' pitches are wanting to go because of the glove of Derek Norris, but on the red, that's where the ball leaks. Green outside, and this game of baseball, man, if you miss by just a little bit, these hitters will take advantage of that. And this green one here, he wants it inside, up just a little bit, and I'm talking maybe a few inches. But in this game, that's the difference. Here's the one that really hurts. The one that leaked inside, that was the home run off the bat of Odubel Herrera. And that's where we stand now, as Mark Zepchinski will now relieve Brandon Maurer.
6 1/3 for Andrew Kastner. Pitch count was fine. He was efficient, but Pat Murphy going to the pen here in the 7th. And as Mark just said, Zepchinski on for the 6th time in what, like 8 days since he's been here?
Yeah.
10 days, whatever. Trade deadline acquisition. Abraham Almonte going to Cleveland, and he had quite a debut for the Indians. I believe he became the first guy ever to have 4 hits and a home run in his debut as an Indian. So Almonte back in the American League. Zepchinski in a Padre uniform, and with 1 out, runners on the corners, he takes a fastball strike. Just saw the home run that Herrera hit his last time up. Couple of hits this afternoon, also singled back in the 1st. He's got a 12-game hitting streak.
Really pulling off that breaking ball there. That tells you a lot. Lefty on lefty, that front side opening up a little bit. If you could locate that breaking ball down and away like he just did, he shouldn't have any problem right here with Herrera. As Kevin Quackenbush, the right-hander, heats up.
Maikel Franco is the on-deck hitter, right-handed bat. Then another lefty, Howard.
You come to the ballpark as a lefty specialist, and you just might have to get that one guy out. That might be the situation here for Zepchinski.
I'll check over at first base. Hernandez back in.
Would you like to come back as a left-handed specialist and pitch in the big leagues for like 15 years?
It's a great gig.
He's got a chance to do his job right here. He's got him in the hole. I'm guessing another breaking ball, a little sweeper off the end of the plate.
Infield in with one out. 1 run in for the Phillies here in the 7th. 1-2 from Zepchinski. Low outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zepchinski. M-A-R-C.
Hey, a ground ball, the middle infielders got to move quickly because they're in kind of, in a little bit. Not at really double play depth, but a hard hit ball, either the second baseman or shortstop got to really scamper to that bag to get that force play at second base.
Little extra ground to cover. 2-2 to Odubel, and he got it. Zepchinski comes out of the pen, and he gets his man. That's the second out here in the 7th inning. Closed captioning today brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel.
Here's the sweeping breaking ball. We mentioned it. If taken, a ball, so the chase rate goes up for Mark Zepchinski.
2 outs, and Franco will be intentionally walked.
Whoa, Zepchinski coming in hot on the intentional pass.
Mentioned the left-handed batting Ryan Howard is on deck. So Pat Murphy playing the numbers here with the lefty-righty stuff. This will load the bases with 2 outs.
He's touching 88 on the gun on the intentional pass.
You got to take these things seriously.
I kind of like that. You know why? Because the pitcher doesn't fall out of that groove, that feel. There are some pitchers who just kind of lob it up there. I don't like that.
That's a good point, especially knowing you're going to have to face a tough hitter.
Yes.
You don't want to just kind of, lollipop it up there and then have to find your release point again or whatever it is. Makes sense. Talk about playing the numbers, and Ryan Howard against left-handed pitching this year. Certainly less effective.
Solid baseball move, looking at the numbers. No question about it.
There are plenty of decisions that big league managers make every night that are easy to pick apart, and you could argue both sides. But this one, probably about as close to a no-brainer as you'll see. It does load the bases. And with 2 outs, Zepchinski going to try and keep this a 2-run game. Full of fills. Ruiz at third, Hernandez at second, Franco at first. One and one. Howard had 1 hit in the first game of the series. That was the homer. Struck out 3 times in last night's ball game, and a hit here today.
That's it. The sweeping breaking ball we were just talking about. And he got Herrera on.
1 and 2.
And then a 2-seam fastball down and in. Talk about dicing and slicing each part of the plate for Zepchinski. Hey, down and away breaking ball, and then how about the 2-seamer down and in? Going back outside with the sweeper.
Norris sets up away, and the 1-2. Nice block by the Padre catcher with that man on third base. 2 and 2.
That's an RSBC.
Run saved by catcher.
That's my sabermetric.
It's your stat. It's an MCS, mud created stat.
I like. You know, I'd like even more a strikeout right here.
2-2 to Howard, and he got him. Zepchinski comes on and he strikes out Herrera and Howard, and he maintains the 2-run game. Philadelphia with the 3-1 lead in the middle of the 7th inning, and some nasty offerings to these left-handed batters.
Got him with the fastball down and in, and then went back to the pitch that he started him off with to finish him off and leave the bases loaded.
On this Military Sunday, we present God Bless America. Here's the PA announcer here at Petco Park, Alex Miniak.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game here on Military Sunday, please stand and welcome U.S. Navy Hospital Corpsman 3rd Class Narissa Holder. Please sing along as she presents God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, wide we foam. God bless America, my own sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home.
Presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by USAA, official military appreciation partner of the San Diego Padres. Jed Jerko first pitch swinging here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Philly with a 3-1 lead behind Jerome Williams, who's trying to complete 7 frames for the first time this season. Longest outing to date, 6 2/3. Did not allow a run in the first 5 innings. Justin Upton went deep against him in the 6th, and that's the only damage in the run column for San Diego so far here today. Big swing, by Jerko. A foul ball, 1-2. So what do you make of Jerome Williams here this afternoon?
Well, you know, when this game started, there were some hard hit balls, but you know, that's a hang with them. This game of baseball they don't count hard hit balls. They got to find the holes. And Jerome Williams is keeping them off balance. It's amazing. And that's why you got to throw those numbers out. Look at that.
Again, defensive shifting playing a role. Hernandez throws Jerko out, one away. Let's check in with Allie Sturm. Allie.
As you can see, Jerome Williams, Phillies right-handed power arm, is wearing a hot pink glove, and that's an awareness, to spread breast cancer awareness and memory of his mother, Deborah Williams. Deborah fought a 5-year battle, and at age 46, she passed away. And when I was speaking with Jerome, he said that he has his mom's name embroidered at the tip of the glove, and every single time he puts it on, he knows that she's in her hand and that she is with him on the mound. And it's just great to see him spreading awareness. As we know, there's a lot of players in the league with family members who've been battling cancer.
Absolutely, Allie. Thank you. Derek Norris takes down an in-ball one. He's got the pink glove. He's got the puka shells.
Yeah.
He's from Hawaii. Grew up. His dad worked in the Pearl Harbor area. His mom, big part of his baseball upbringing.
That's why they call it pitching, right? Not throwing. Very frustrating, though, when you look at the numbers. We talked about it on the road for Jerome Williams this year. Winless. ERA over 8. Next thing you know, he's in the 7th inning.
Funny game, this baseball.
Frustrating.
Yeah. Norris 0 for 2. His first time up, he flew to deep center field. And he hits that one well out to left field. Ashe is going back, and at the wall, he jumps and makes the catch.
You got to be shaving me.
Cody Ashe takes a home run away from Derek Norris.
Did he get on him a little bit? Maybe just a little bit, but still gives this ball a ride. Great timing by Ashe, and up against the wall. And a tip of the cap from Williams.
Been a charmed afternoon for the veteran right-hander as Will Venable takes a strike. This matches the longest outing of the year for Jerome Williams. When things aren't going your way, they really don't go your way.
It's unbelievable. It's just one of those days.
We saw it last night. Some balls hit to center that you thought really had a chance, and Herrera chased them down, or they died at the wall. Ground ball up the middle, and again Hernandez ranging, not in time. Will Venable busting it out of the box. And an infield single for Will with 2 outs here in the 7th. So the tying run will come to the plate for San Diego.
Well, the one time that the Philly infielder had to go a long way to make that play, and Will Venable knows that, you know what, he's going to make a spectacular play. He's going to match his speed with his range, and the speed wins out.
So Venable reaches, and pitch number 100 from Jerome Williams will be delivered to pinch hitter Brett Wallace.
If he gets a first pitch fastball, watch out. Oh, he pulls the string.
Change up had Wallace out in front, 0-1.
And that is exactly what Brett Wallace is thinking. Pinch hitter coming off the bench, they like to swing the bat, especially at first pitch fastball, and Jerome Williams counters with the changeup.
Wallace hit a pinch hit home run Wednesday in Milwaukee. Runner goes. Throw down to second from Ruiz, not nearly in time. Venable easily swiping his 10th base of the season. Now run in scoring position with 2 away.
Well, you smelled that one coming, trying to get in a scoring position here. Another changeup that may have helped with the bad numbers from Ruiz behind the plate. The changeup, Will Venable slides easily, not even close, into scoring position.
I mean, look where Galvis was fielding it. He almost had to come in on the grass. It was strike 2 as Wallace swung and missed. Got him. Jerome Williams, for the first time this season, completes 7 innings. He has held the Padres to 1 run on 5 hits.
Phillies lead by 2, top of the 8th inning. Mark Sweeney and Mike Pomeranz working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you today by Cox Communications. Just want to get you up to speed on what's happening around baseball. The Giants trying to take at least one game from the Cubs, and Chicago would have none of it.
Chicago Cubs playing inspired baseball, especially after the break, and they had a challenge today against the Giants. First inning, Chris Bryant from USD dumps one into right field with 2 outs. It's good hitting, and also the Cubs are hot. They win 2-0 today.
Yeah, the Cubs sweep the Giants, so that sets up an interesting race there, not only for the National League West, where the Giants are chasing the Dodgers, but also the wild card. So that said, I want to tell you that following the final out, we're also going to hear from the interim manager, Pat Murphy. We'll get you set for the Red Series as well. And you know what, Mark, while we have a moment, why not check out the Pick the Stick standings currently as we bring in Jesse and Mark and see what the board will tell us.
It's my favorite time.
Is it now?
Wow.
Mr. Grant, it is your day.
Well, it most certainly is. And you know what? I knew something was up. That's why I went with Justin Upton. Sorry about it. And
nice job by Allie today. I'm really excited about her. You know, she stepped in.
Yeah.
Chris Budden's really intimidated about this, and she does a really good job. Nice job pinch hitting, Allie.
Thank you very much. I have to say, Chris and I have been texting throughout the game, and she's very proud. She's teaching me well.
Well, she shouldn't get too excited. It's a long season, and she's got to watch out for yours truly.
You're only 10 points back.
But not going to happen.
Oh, that sounded like a guarantee of sorts. Kevin Quackenbush on for the 35th time this year, trying to get himself back in a groove here.
Very important inning here in the 8th, down by 2. A bloop in the blast for San Diego ties him up, and for Kevin, his 35th game. The strikeouts are there, almost 1 per inning.
There's that Jeff Francoeur swing we've seen all those years.
And as you look at the last 3 earned runs at 1, and actually a run or more in each of the last 3. So a quick inning right here for Kevin would be crucial for the Padres to get right back in that dugout and try to get on the board in their bottom half of the 8th.
He's ahead of Frenchie, 1-2, and the high fastball is flown out to right field. Kep makes the catch. 1 away. Our game is presented in HD by Sony 4K. If you got one of those good 4K Sonys, you can see every whisker in Kevin Quackenbush's beard, just individually.
You might be able to find a slice of pizza in there somewhere.
One out for Ashe. 1 for 3 with a bunt single.
You know, Kevin's done pretty well the last 10 outings. Righty's only hitting 182. He's got the lefty Ashe here who likes to pull the baseball. Playing him to pull on the infield just a little bit.
Just missing there. 1-1. Ashley earlier this season became the first Philly ever. You talk about his power and what he's capable of. First guy in a Philly uniform to hit one into McCovey Cove. I figured Ryan Howard would have run into one at some point, right?
You know, when you talk about McCovey Cove, that's one where you have to get it up. You got to hit it far.
Yes.
Or right down the line, because remember, it's kind of, what's it, 309 down that right field line, then it jets out. The closer to the line there in San Francisco, the better chance you've got to hit it in McCovey Cove.
Kind of an interesting story, Ash. He began the year at third base, played about a month there, and then they needed him in left, so he went down, played 15 games at AAA to sort of work on being a left fielder, and he's pretty much been there ever since. Goes down, and he lines that one foul down the right field line. Look at that.
You look at it.
Why'd you let go of your balloons?
I want to set him free. And there they go. If you love something, set it free.
Now full count to Ashy, 3-2.
I'm not letting you go, though.
I appreciate that. Off the hands, another foul ball, and another full count pitch.
Nice grab by that fan. You bet. Everybody's okay. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy.
Fist bump from the usher.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch. Oof.
Oh, another one. This poor guy.
Right off the mask.
Remember the one he got last night?
Yes.
But then he had one in Milwaukee the last day that nearly put him back on his heels. Got him really good. That's like 3 games in a row now. 4 games in a row.
Head athletic trainer Todd Hutchinson with Pat Murphy.
Best in the business. Hutch.
Another 3-2 and another foul ball.
Well, Kevin Quackenbush doing a good job of going in and out and in. Trying to tie up Ashy, the pull hitter. Infield playing the pull, outfield to go the other way.
Quackenbush trying to keep this a 2-run game. Top of the order for the Padres, due up in the bottom of this inning, and on 3-2 he hits him. One out base runner for the Phils here in the 8th.
Well, tried to go inside again after going away and just yanked it a little bit too much. You hate to see that because you want to have the guy earn his way on. Sure, Kevin Quackenbush has got the pitch to try to strike him out, but just yanked it.
Now Galvis with 1 on and 1 out. Fastball strike. Galvis started the first game of this series. Singled and scored his last time up. 102nd hit of the season for Galvis. He actually leads the Phillies in hits this year. Playing more than ever in his career. Pretty much the everyday shortstop at this point. Although with Utley back, they'll mix things around a little bit. 0-2.
What's Utley going to play? Maybe 4 times a week?
Yeah, that's what they've said. Hector Neris warming in the Philadelphia bullpen. into left field. Upton a long way to go. He's not going to get there. It drops down. Oh, bloop single the other way for Galvis, his second hit of the afternoon. And 2 on with 1 out for Philadelphia.
How about the Phils getting jammed, double one the other way, finding the garden spot. Padres have hit him on the screws a handful of times and not being able to find a lot of hits. Is this one he's jammed? Outfield is playing him to go that way a little bit, but a long run for Justin Upton and another knock.
Carlos Ruiz, the number 8 hitter, takes a big swing and fouls that one back as the aforementioned Chase Utley has stepped into the on-deck circle. Only going to start about 4 days a week, but that doesn't mean he isn't available off the bench. And the pitcher spot due up next. You may see him here. Ruiz to second. Jerko goes to second for 1. Amarista back to first, not in time. Just a little bit too far to go for Jed Jerko. Unable to turn the double play, but they do cut down a runner. And there will be men on first and third with 2 away.
I tell you, it was a nice play by Jed getting that ball to second base, and then a nice turn by Amarista. How close was it? He just beats it out. Clearly safe. Good call by first base umpire Dana DeMuth. That's a nice play by Jed.
Very nice play. Didn't think they had any chance at the double play,
exactly.
But ended up being pretty close.
Getting to it, spin towards the left-hand side. Now you have to fire a strike going away from the play. That was a perfect thrown baseball, leading Amarista as he was coming across the second base bag, getting a little bit behind to that throw to first base.
So here is Chase Utley, 6th pinch hit at bat of the season. He's 1 for 5 in this role. Nice stop by Norris, ball 1.
Nice footwork around the bag also by Alexi. Hey, also for Jed Jerko to put yourself in that position, it starts from the bottom up. The feet all the way up to that baseball leaving your hand.
Ashe at third as this one is past Alonso into right field for a base hit. Ashe will score. Ruiz is going to be waived. Kemp just now getting to the ball, and there will not be a throw home. With 2 outs, Chase Utley comes in with a pinch hit, 2-run double, and the Phillies extend the lead 5-1. 2 doubles in last night's game for Utley, and he delivers another here as a pinch hitter in the 8th.
Well, leave it to the 6-time All-Star. Coming off the bench, starting 4 times a week. Seems like he's always in the middle of something. Just out of the reach of the diving Alonso. And the Phils add on.
Thought they might have a play on Ruiz at the plate. You know, with 2 outs, he's obviously running right away, but still not a fast guy. He was all the way at first. But Kemp had a long way to go to retrieve that one, and he was able to make it home. Good day for Hernandez, though he has struck out twice. And he takes a breaking ball. Called strike, 0-2. Couple of runs off of Kevin Quackenbush here in the 8th. And here Quackenbush strikes out Cesar Hernandez. Phillies, though, add 2 on the Utley double, 5-1.
Mark Grant visits his old friend Matt Vasgersian on MLB Central.
Spent a lot of time in the bullpen, not on the mound. Plus, backing up third, you get to know the third base umpire quite well.
Oh, that's what we call must-see TV, appointment television. That was fun.
Hey, if you get a chance, if you're out east in New York and you have a chance to go to the MLB studios, it's worth the visit.
They just let anybody go?
The studio, yeah, why not? Tell them I sent you. It's quite the studio. It's just remarkable. Studio 42. I'm sure they give tours there.
Okay. I don't know. You just show up.
I'm throwing it out there.
All right. You say Mud sent me. They'll let you right in. Top of the order for the Padres here.
You might be able to get in the lobby.
Maybe use the bathroom if you ask nicely.
Sure.
Yeah. Now a 4-run game after Chase Utley's 2-run double added on for the Phils in the top of this inning. Top of the order against the new pitcher Hector Neris. And Amarista takes a strike, 1-1.
Well, a very frustrating afternoon for everybody. And, hey, folks, you know what? I'm a fan. I'm frustrated, right? Well, still got a couple of cracks left as Hector Neris on for his 12th game.
Third separate stint for Neris with the big league club. Up and down with AAA Lehigh Valley. The Iron Pigs.
That's a great nickname, by the way.
Yeah. 3-1 to Amarista, and Padres need base runners.
For Neris, 3-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, and a split finger fastball. The average is about 94. And it's the point I made earlier, Jesse, remember, I wanted him to get to Jerome Williams early because we got some good arms in that Philly bullpen.
Ooh, gets a call there.
Yeah, he did.
And instead of ball 4 to Amarista, it is strike 2 and a full count. Trying to get the leadoff man aboard here, down 4 in the 8th. 3-2 pitch. Amarista goes up, hits it in the air to center. Herrera's there, 1 away. No, he can't hold on to it. And Amarista ends up at second base. Odubel Herrera, who's had a great series, but has had some adventures in the outfield, has a misadventure. Just lost it, huh?
I don't know. It was, I got it, you take it. Look, all of a sudden he just peels, and then he just claps and says, what's going on? Oh, that was... Hey, remember, we saw his act at Wrigley Field on that no-hitter.
Yeah, last out of the
Cole
game.
Hamels. There was 2 plays. There was a couple of plays where he did the old the dive on the warning track to make the catch. That was very odd.
Yeah, even in the last couple of nights, there have been some weird ones for him out there. Officially a double for Alexi Amarista. His 9th of the year as Solarte behind 0-1.
That's one of those when you're in the dugout and you see somebody stands up, a couple of guys stand up and say, come on, guys, let's make that hurt. Let's get it going.
Opportunity knocking for the Padres. And you mentioned the no-hitter for Cole Hamels at Wrigley. Here's one of the plays that Herrera had to make out in center field. And then this is the last out of a no-hitter. What were you saying yesterday? He needs the Apple Watch, the GPS?
That was Mark Sweeney's line.
Sweeney's line, okay. Solarte pops it up out of play, 1-2. Game 1 against Cincinnati tomorrow. Join us at 6:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. Ian Kennedy will be on the mound. Solarte reaches and fouls again, spoiling a couple of pitches from Hector Neris. Big bats coming up. Amarista's got a huge lead at second base. And the 1-2 to Solarte is outside.
Yeah, he gets help from Glenn Hoffman on the shortstop, and then he has a view of the second baseman. Hernandez. I mean, when you look at how far he is away, Alexi on second base, he could take as far as lead as the second baseman is right there.
That one gets away. And that big secondary lead will allow Amarista to easily reach third base. Well, Ruiz just kind of stabbed at it. Couldn't get there.
Yeah, that was way off the plate inside. When you're anticipating a ball away and a guy throws 95, 96 in, that's tough to catch up to.
Maris had gotten ahead of Solarte. Now a full count, 3-2 with a runner on third and nobody out. That one's hit well to right field. It's a base hit. Amarista checks in. 5-2 Phillies. Jan Hervey Solarte with an RBI single. And good things continuing to happen for San Diego here in the 8th.
Solarte hit the ball well his first at bat. It was a line to the third baseman. This ball he pulls. Looks very comfortable up at the plate. And the Padres chipping away here in the 8th.
Conversation on the Philly bench about what to do next is see the pitching coach, Bob McClure, and Pete McCannon having their chat. We saw Neris in the first game of the series. He came on to pitch in the 11th, and he allowed just one hit. It was the Alex Dickerson single, first hit of his major league career. As we take a look at our Fan Diego fan of the game, one of the Wounded Warriors in attendance here this afternoon. Yonder Alonso signed the ball for him.
Now we thank him for his service and enjoying a big league ball game. Hopefully that smile remains on his face as the Padres come back and win this one. You mentioned Jesse, Bob McClure, the pitching coach, out to have a visit. While we have a moment, just as a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
DeFreitas and Araujo, righty and a lefty up in the Philly bullpen. For now, it's Hector Neris and Matt Kemp. Tying run in the on-deck circle for the Padres. Double, single, and a run in to start it off here in the 8th. And that's ball one to Matt Kemp. Padres trying to come from behind to stop the skid. Good series for Kemp. And up here in a big spot. Ball two. Justin Upton has a home run. Little check swing. And he fouls back towards the Padre dugout. Kemp's always hit the Phillies well. 50 games against Philadelphia in his career, hitting well over 300. 8 homers. Driven in a bunch of runs. Trying to continue the good fortune here this afternoon. That one's popped up back behind the play. Ruiz gives it a look, but it'll be about 20 rows back.
Hey, the Phantom on the check swing coming in. Oh, that is so cool, isn't it? Bill Kelsey on the Phantom cam.
2-2 to Kemp. And he reaches up, lines that one to left, and what a snag by the ball girl.
Nice! Take a stand.
Let's go ahead and make this our Bill Howe play of the game. She's getting a standing ovation from the fans behind third base. My favorite part, the nonchalant handing of the ball to the kid. Kemp tips that one at the plate, and it's a strikeout.
Young lady, I stand up and applaud you going to your right. The tip of the cap, and it's like, oh, shucks. Okay, yeah, thank you. That is a great play.
The eye black's the key. So now one out after the Kemp strikeout, and Justin Upton comes up. 421-foot homer his last time. Solarte at first with one away. Padres have pushed a run across already here in the 8th. And that's ball one inside to Upton. Ball two. On the ground to third. Franco goes to second for one, on to first, and the throw is wide. Hernandez pulled Howard off the bag, and what looked like it could have been, maybe should have been, an inning-ending double play. Keeps it going.
That's why you always have to bust it out of the box here, around the horn, and the bad throw. Boy, Howard does a fine job of preventing that ball from going to the wall, possibly into the stands.
Boy, Hernandez had all kinds of time.
Yes, he did.
Rushed it, so a fielder's choice for Upton, and 2 outs, runner on first. Line out to left is first time up, and a couple of ground outs today for Alonso. Yonder takes strike one from Neris. Been a funky inning. Alexi Amarista doubled to center to lead it off, but really it was just a ball lost in the sun or misplayed by Adrubal Herrera. Solarte then singled to bring home a run after Amarista went to third on a wild pitch, but then Kemp struck out and Upton grounded into a double play. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Yonder Alonso. 2-1. Phillies got a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th.
Well, the Phillies trying to get the ball into the hand of Ken Giles, their closer.
In the air, shallow left, kind of a long way to go for Ashe, who makes the catch. And that's it for the Padres here in the 8th. They get one back, though. RBI single from Solarte. 5-2 Philly. One of the plays of the day certainly provided by the ball girl down the left field line, JJ. Sweet grab. Nice day out on the bay and a beautiful afternoon inside the ballpark just across the street as well. There's JJ. I remember her from last year. She got engaged on the field before one of the games. Her boyfriend proposed to her and made a big thing. It was on a lot of the national websites. She did say yes, yeah, thankfully. She made a nice grab here today. I mean, look at this play by JJ last inning.
Yeah, saving some fans. You never know where that ball's going to ricochet or who it's going to hit. So a nice job knowing that the ball was going to be foul. It wasn't a ball in play, and showing off her athletic ability to her right and giving it to a kid, you bet.
That kid knew the game, too. He was ready. He went right down to her. He's like, oh, I'm going to get a ball here. Herrera, Franco, and Howard against the new Padre pitcher, Dale Thayer. 3-run game, top of the ninth, and Adrubal, first pitch swinging, fouls it back to the screen. In a way, he sort of got the Padres going in the bottom of the 8th inning. Amarista leading it off, and this is a guy that's a converted infielder, and they're trying to make him an outfielder, and I guess sometimes that's what happens. It was a weird one. So he's still learning how to play the outfield, and there are going to be ups and downs. And, you know, part of being a big leaguer, particularly a young one, is you're going to get help from all kinds of places as he pushes a bunch of Solarte. Bare hand throw. Got him. Oh, what a play by Solarte at third.
Wow. You know, at first, from our vantage point up here, we get a pretty good idea if it's out or safe, but this one is really, really close. And how about Jan Hervis? Look at the accuracy of the throw as Alonso. Oh, he got him. He got him. I think he's out. What do you think?
Absolutely. That's a great play by Solarte and a nice job by Alonso, kind of reaching out and meeting the ball.
Foot stays on the bag.
Yeah, he got him. No challenge from McCannon. That's a star-worthy play for sure.
Looks like Yonder had his wrong foot on the bag, though. It was kind of awkward the way he caught that ball.
So one out, and Maikel Franco 0 for 3 was intentionally walked his last time up. Dale Thayer got to appreciate what Solarte did for him there. Popped up right side and in foul territory. That one will find the seats. 1-2. The emergence of Yangervis Solarte continues to be a story for this ball club, offensively and defensively.
He continues to impress big time at third base. That is not an easy play. So much going on. And so much has to go right. Everything has to go right.
They're trying to finish Franco. And another foul ball. And so mentioning, Herrera, got to learn and new position, all that kind of stuff. In between innings, Jeff Francoeur, we talk about what he can mean to a ball club off the field. He finds Herrera, chats him up.
You know what? I don't know what Jeff is saying right there, but I can only imagine. And you know what I think it is? Here's what I think. Jeff Francoeur went up to that kid and said, you know what, dude? You're the center fielder. You have to take charge. You're good enough to catch that ball. You said you put your hand up. You've got to take charge out there and yell and scream like there's no tomorrow. Let the corner out. Because if I'm in that situation and you're calling me up, I'm going to peel off. Take charge. You're the center fielder. You should have that ball. Might have been one of the things he's saying to him. What do you think?
That sounds as good as anything I can come up with. Franco strikes out. He's now 0 for 12 in the series. There gets the first two men. But yeah, it could also be a, hey, don't get your head down kind of situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Francoeur. And there's going to be a lot more of these over the course of your career out there. And don't let this one bother you too much. It did help lead to a run for the Padres. Two hits in the series for Howard. The RBI double tonight. and the home run on Friday night. And he's first pitch swinging. It's a little piece of that offering from Thayer. After the double earlier, Howard now just 2 RBIs away from second place on the all-time Philly list. How about that? 1-1. If Thayer can keep this 3-run game, it'll be Jerko, Norris, and Venable coming up against the closer, Ken Giles.
Third game in a row for Giles.
One, two, and a ground ball to first. It's a fair ball. Nicely done by Alonso, who will take it himself in a 1-2-3 inning for Dale Thayer as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
Earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. All you have to do is tweet your strongest fan photo to use the hashtag #SDDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Hey, Monty. Thank you.
Padres trying to keep the birds from eating for a little while longer. Trying to come back and at least tie this thing up in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tomorrow night, the Cincinnati Reds in town. Ian Kennedy will be out on the hill for the Padres as the Reds make their only visit to San Diego this season. Join us beginning at 6:30 on Fox Sports San Diego. The closer, Ken Giles.
Third game in a row in this series for the closer. 5 out of 8 in the save opportunities and pretty good numbers. I mean, just eye-popping. 49 innings, 63 strikeouts. He can touch triple digits.
Yeah, we've seen that each of the last couple nights. Jerko saw him on Friday night in the 12th. And Giles struck him out to end the game. Saw the 5 out of 8 in the save department. 5 for 5 since the Papelbon trade. And there's a strike to Jerko at 96. Couple of ground outs and a fly out for Jed this afternoon. And that one's hit well out to left center. Ashe coming over, not going to get there. Leadoff single for Jerko here in the bottom of the ninth. One at a time.
One at a time, you get in striking distance, and you hope for that big hit. As we take a look, the knob of the bat, the barrel to follow on contact, right about belt buckle high, and a mistake over the heart of the plate, and Jed Jerko taking advantage of that.
Derek Norris. '96 again. The 0 for 3 does not tell the full story for Norris. In the second, he flew to very deep center. And then his last time up, he had a home run taken away by Ashe. One could say he has put good swings on the ball this afternoon. Just hasn't gotten the results.
Frustrating, but you just got to keep swinging. Start doing the same thing. Continue doing the same thing.
Ooh. Close pitch. Giles got the call, and now 1-2 to Norris. Big swing at a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. One, two, and that's strike three. Giles took something off, locked up Derek Norris, one away. Reds coming to town tomorrow, Tuesday, and way back Wednesday. Kennedy, Ray, and Shields. It's gonna be fun. Colin Ray getting ready to make his major league debut Tuesday night, and then James Shields in the brown and orange uniforms on Wednesday. One out, one on, and Will Venable at the plate. Jerko goes, and he'll take second base. The old defensive indifference.
Cincinnati kind of struggling on the road, 21-33 before today, so hopefully the Padres can do something more about that after they come back and win this one.
Phillies trying to sweep another series here at Petco Park. They've had incredible success in this building as that one takes a piece out of Ruiz. Since it opened in 2004, the Phils have swept 5 different series at Petco Park. Up the middle, base hit for Venable. Jerko being waved, and the Padres get one back. 5-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning as Venable comes through with an RBI single. Third hit of the afternoon for Venable.
Hey, the new daddy's having a good day in the big leagues. 3 knocks, a stolen base, an RBI. You bet.
Jerko taking second base certainly contributes there. 2-run game, tying run coming to the plate. And Melvin Upton Jr. will hit for the pitcher. Been swinging a better bat. Takes a big swing there, 0-1.
Nice first pitch slider at 87 from Giles.
See the numbers on this season, 229 in 43 games. 1 for 4 last night when he started in center field. had a 2-strike bunt single in the 7th inning. Fouled off at the plate, and again Ruiz takes the brunt of it. 0-2.
He's not going to throw a fastball. Back-to-back sliders. Stay tuned. Padres Live, the postgame show coming up. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney. We talked about this one and everything going around Major League Baseball. Probably preview the series with the Cincinnati Reds as well.
Giles had a 1-2-3 ninth last night to pick up his 5th save. On Friday night, though, in the 12th inning, couple of hits for San Diego against him. Swing and a miss. 97-mile-per-hour fastball, and Melvin Upton is dismissed. 2 away.
That's coming in hot after 2 sliders and good location. As Giles goes down and away.
Well, it was a week ago today. 1 out in the 9th inning at Marlins Park in Miami that Alexi Amarista hit a 2-run home run to tie the game. Now with 2 outs, he represents the tying run, and with Venable running, he fouls that one back. 0-1. Last Sunday in Miami, it was A.J. Ramos that Amarista hit the home run off of. Dramatic and improbable and a fun moment. Venable goes again, and Alexi takes outside. 1-1. So Will in scoring position. Amarista trying to keep it going. Solarte would be next. That one is down the line and into the seats. Well, not even JJ can get to that. Got to know when to just let it go. Padres down to their final strike. 1-2. The count on Amarista. Nibbling at 97. 2-2. To Alexi. Outside again. Ball 3.
Hey, I would love to see a walk here and see Jan up at the plate.
Payoff pitch coming to Amarista. And the 3-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3. The Phillies complete the sweep. And they take this one 5-3. Mike Pomerantz has Padres Live, the postgame show. Mike?
Guys, what we see in just a couple of moments, we're going to preview the Cincinnati series. You're going to hear from Pat Murphy, and we'll check out the hottest team in all of baseball. All that and more in moments.